What soldering iron do I use? I'm so glad you asked because this is by far one of my favorite tools on my bench. So I use the TS100, that's this thing, and there's a few different reasons why I chose it. The main thing though is this thing is just so small and compact. Most soldering irons take up a ton of space, while this thing, it's like tiny. And then it's really flexible in how you can use and power it. So it has a regular barrel jack like this, so you can power it with just a standard power brick like this one. But what a lot of people use is this USB-C cable, so you plug the barrel jack into one end and the other end just into a USB-C port, and then you have full power on your iron. If you're trying to save space and you don't want a big soldering station, being able to power this thing by USB is huge. The only caveat with the USB is it does need 9 volts minimum of power, which most high-end USB bricks will output. And then it can take up to 24 volts of power, so if you wanted to power it with like one of those power bricks like I was showing you, it'll just heat up a little bit quicker. But again, it's so flexible. It has this nice little screen so you can scroll through and adjust all the settings, has a USB port and all sorts of custom firmwares that are available for it. And it's just simple. You plug it in, you push this button, it'll start heating up. You'll be able to see exactly when it's reached temperature. Right now I'm powering it by USB-C, so it's gonna heat up a little bit slower. For context, I usually power it off 24 volts directly off my power supply here, opposed to USB, just because I use it so often. When I push this button, you'll see here, it'll start heating up. Then it's really, really easy to change the temperatures once you've heated it up. Again, the screen just makes it great. It also feels really good in the hand. Despite being small, this thing is super ergonomic. The rest of my soldering setup is pretty straightforward. I just have this little magnetic iron holder that just slots into here. Then when I'm doing some extensive soldering, I have this metal plate down here in my bench, as well as these little helping hands. Again, these things are magnetic and can help hold the parts I'm soldering. And then I'll usually bring down the soldering iron with the magnetic holder down there as well. And that's soldering iron I use, TS100. I think they're like 80 bucks on Amazon, not super cheap, but if you solder frequently, you get a lot of value out of these things. Yeah, 80 bucks. I'll have a link to these in my bio if you guys want to buy one for yourself. That's my soldering iron. Thanks for watching. Bye. This is exactly how much money I made and how I made it as a content creator on TikTok for November 2023. That's Black Friday month. And I feel kind of weird making this video this month because the number I'm about to show you is a lot. It's an absolute life-changing amount of money. If you don't know me, my name is Brett. I make tech and smart home videos here on TikTok. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and at the time of making this, I have about 750,000 followers. And I try to make these transparency videos about exactly how much I make here on TikTok, not to brag or gloat or anything like that, but because I think it's super important that us creators are transparent with you guys, the fans, the ones who are generating the views and actually generating us money. I think it's so important to be transparent about these things. And not just for you guys, the viewers, but for other content creators. Content creators are so gatekeepy about what they're making and nobody talks about it, and I want to change that. Now, I said I feel kind of weird about sharing the number this month because it's so large. That's not because I don't want to share it. In fact, I think as less creators make more, it's even more important to be transparent. But I worry, maybe irrationally, that it'll change the lens that you guys see me through as a creator and somebody that's genuinely passionate about tech. I worry that you guys will see that I'm making this money and thinking that all I'm doing is just chasing that number and only reviewing products that are paying me a bunch of money and all that sort of stuff. Just please know that that is not the case. I've been enjoying making these videos more than I ever have. In fact, I think the only reason that I've been able to earn so much compared to my relatively small following is because everything that I do talk about is genuine and genuinely recommended, and it's stuff that I'm actually vetting and buying myself. And I think that is the only reason that people are buying it and causing me to earn money, because literally everything I talk about, unless very, 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 very clearly disclosed as a sponsorship, is all genuine on my part. And that's not going to change. I enjoy making these videos and helping you guys way too much. I know as soon as I start looking at through the lens of, oh, how do I make the most money? I'm going to start hating it. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for you guys. I'm just going to keep talking about cool tech. Sob story over. Let's talk about how much money I made. 3 primary revenue channels as a TikTok creator. 1, we have the TikTok Creator/Creativity Fund. This is the money that TikTok pays us creators directly for generating views on their platform. Because I live in Canada, I do not qualify for the Creativity or Creator Fund, so I made a grand total of $0 this month. Method number 2, sponsorships. This is the traditional way a creator will make money, where a brand will come to them and say, hey, I'll pay you this amount of money to review our products, say these type of things, and make a video about it. Now, I get anywhere from 10 to 100 sponsorship requests a day in my email. For context, usually those offer anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 to review the product. But I say no to pretty much every single one of those. I don't like taking direct sponsors unless it's a brand that I already work with, I'm already using, and I can already trust, or just I love the concept so much that I genuinely want to look at it and maybe bring it in front of you guys. So for November, I only had $1,500 worth of sponsorship deals. I took much lower price sponsorships for brands that I already worked with and loved and felt comfortable recommending to you guys. Now, number 3, this is the big kahuna for me and where things get absolutely wild, is affiliate commissions. This is where if I link you out to a product in my bio, I get a small percentage of that sale paid out to me. There's a whole bunch of different affiliate programs. Some of the really high paying runs run into the same issues with sponsorships where you're kind of forced to promote products that you don't like. I don't like that. I use Amazon for pretty much all of my affiliate commissions. They pay very, very low affiliate commissions for context, anywhere from 1% to 3%. But what I absolutely love about it is I could talk about products that I already use, that I've paid for myself, that I genuinely endorse. I could talk about them and still at least make a very small cut on monetization if somebody actually decides to use them based on my very genuine opinion. Despite it not being nearly as lucrative as any of the other options, I feel much more comfortable using it as a method to monetize, as again, I get to keep my integrity and literally just talk about the things that I already love, and I think that's so cool that I can make at least anything off that. So, here it is. My affiliate commissions for the month of November were $44,502.72. Now, that number is obviously absolutely bonkers. An important caveat to this one, this is something especially for other creators. Once you reach certain levels of earnings in Amazon, they start giving you basically bonus payouts as like a, hey, good job for generating sales on the platform. So I qualified for quite a few of those. So that's not just the commission percentage. There's also bonus numbers kind of wrapped into that. So that puts my total earnings to $46,002.72. I don't really know how to say thank you for this, but I want to make sure you guys know that I am ever grateful for this, not only to be able to earn this absolutely bonkers, life-changing amount of money, but the fact that I'm able to do it, doing something I love, talking about the things I love, and getting such positive feedback from y'all. It's just really cool. Another really important caveat with this money is this is all pre-tax. I would be paying a very pretty penny to the government if I wanted to pull that money out. I don't actually touch any of the money that I make on TikTok. It all just sits invested in a corporation I own. I have no need for that much money. I already live a very comfortable, very minimal life, and I have no reason to change that. So just know, like I said, this money isn't going to affect everything. I am ever so grateful for it and the fact that it's been something that I've been blessed with. But just know it's not going to affect or change anything about my content. And my light just turned off. That's how much I made. I love all of you. I'm excited for the new year. Thank you for watching.